welcome everybody to ZB Farms. We are on the coldest day for the next, I don't know how long, but it's in the 40s. We got some trees planted this weekend, so I'll show you in just a minute. But today we are gonna go out and work on cutting down some invasive trees. These Siberian elms are just, they're terrible. So I am going to work on getting them cut down and just, we're gonna plow through and try to get it before the spring hits. So that is the goal. So the kids are gonna come out and help me, and we're just gonna get as far as we can. We have Justin's chainsaw in the back of the side-by-side. He's coming out to help too. We have my loppers so I can get as much as I can with those. And we're just gonna tear everything down and just be done. So it's not done yet, but guys, it looks so much better than before. Like, if you look behind me, this used to be all covered in Siberian elm, and it's almost gone. It is so exciting to see it actually clear, because I love the way open fields look. They're beautiful. And to see it finally opened up and clear and green grass growing, and then this is going to be our orchard, so it's going to have all of the beautiful things. It is exciting. Now we are just piling the trees and stuff that we're cutting down. We're just piling them right there, because what we're going to do is we're going to mulch all of it, and it's going to get spread around the trees out here and the plants as we plant things. So we still got a ways, as you can see, we still got more to do, but we're running out of daylight. We still have more time, but Justin is very good to me and makes sure I don't overwork myself so that I don't get stressed. But we got to come out and do a lot more mulching, and we're going to come out here with a wood chipper. And we're literally going to go from tree pile to tree pile around the property and just mulch it right in the spot. And if there's extra mulch in an area, I can go back out to those areas and pick it up and move it wherever I need it. So the plan is just to mulch all of it in place, so it's not going to be as hard on us, because then we don't have to transport it to where we mulch everything and transport it back out, because I need it out here anyways. So it's looking so good. I'm so excited. can't get in that door, honey. It's covered with hay. Today is kind of a busy day. And actually this weekend, we got a lot going on. One of the biggest parts of this weekend is actually a lot of stuff that we got to do with the goats. So we got to trim hooves, we got to disbud the 2 baby goats, vaccinations, and we're doing some work on the girls' fence so that they can go out into the pasture. So we are going to work on disbudding the goats. I have everything I need. I got the blue coat to spray on. I got the nippers to cut. I have our disbudder tool, and that is nice and hot. So we are ready to go. We are going to start with Bubbles. She is fairly late in regards to disbudding, but we should still be good. So both baby goats are now done. They are disbudded. We're going to give them a break from everything else we need to do. We have to trim hooves and all of that. So we're going to give them a nice little break before we start working on all of that. We're going to get her back out with everybody else. We're going to let this cool off. Yeah, that's the least fun of all of the chores on the farm. Disbudding the babies. Take a quick break from torturing the goats. We just have to do hooves and anti-mating aprons and things like that. But, so at least it's not horrible. But I want to get some planting done. We have onions and broccoli and a cauliflower that really could get into the ground now. So we are going to get those planted up here, and then later today or tomorrow we're going to get all the potatoes planted. Those are going to be out in our market garden out there, and we'll talk about it later. But we're going to get started on planting. First up is going to be the onions, and we're going to plant those in this bed right here. We're gonna get the onions planted. So let's see how well mine do. That is gonna be the deciding factor. I did not get the onions planted in the garden up there yet, only because I noticed the soil didn't look as nice as I wanted it to. So we picked up some garden soil compost to get in those. But before we can do anything, I have potatoes in there that need to get planted today. They cannot wait. So I got garden soil compost for here. This is where we're going to plant those. So we're going to get started on that. I'm going to get the soil down, kind of turned in a little bit. Then we'll get the potatoes planted. And then we have mulch pile back there that will kind of put a layer on top to help suppress weeds. So we're going to get that started. All right, Now this bed, it has compost in it. Now it's not a super thick layer. I just kind of mixed in a little bit. If we need to, we'll add more later. I need to go get a bag of alfalfa, and in each one of the holes that we put a potato in, we're also gonna put a little alfalfa. I got alfalfa pellets from the store, so I'm gonna go grab those really quick, and we're gonna add just a little handful into each hole of the potatoes. And then, yeah, we'll see how we do this order. We have 3 different types of potatoes that we're gonna plant, so we'll see. We're gonna see how we're gonna do this. But for now, this is good. I need to go get the alfalfa, and we'll be golden. Now, while I go get those alfalfa pellets, I'm gonna take you back to last week where we planted some of the apple trees in the orchard. The new apple trees and fig trees, plum trees, the works. We just picked up the trees from our local conservation district that we are adding to not only the orchard, but just the property in general. We got a Galarna, I think is how you pronounced it, apple, and then a wine crisp apple to add to our orchard. So we're super excited about this. And I learned a lot of new things about planting apple trees and taking care of them this year. So I'm excited to see how these turn out. And our other 2 are looking great, which is awesome. Need some help?
I just threw it.
Okay, you got through it? You are so stinking light.
Oh, shut.
So we are working on getting this wine crisp planted, and we are planting them about, I want to say they're about 15 feet apart, all of our trees at this point. So we want to make sure they're plenty safe. These are all semi-dwarf trees. And as you guys have seen, we've been clearing some of our other apple trees. Now, hopefully, crossing my fingers, they survive. They'll just need a few years to kind of pick back up. But we did have to take a few down. So we're replacing some of those that we took down with these new trees, and then we'll just keep adding more to our orchard as we can.
This wide enough, Mom?
Yeah, that'll be wide enough. Now you got to go deeper. So now we have the wine crisp and the Galarna planted. We have back here the Enterprise and the Liberty. Those are the 2 we got last year. So we have now 4 apple trees in our apple orchard, which is super exciting. And 2 fig trees. We also have 2 fig trees. We planted those with you. So yay! Now I got to see what else I ordered because I forgot. And we'll figure out what we can plant today and what we'll plant at another time. We are gonna now get started on planting American plums. Now, I bought these as a 10-pack, which was a great deal. And so we're gonna actually plant them right along this fence line, not right up against it. It's gonna be back a little bit. But we're gonna plant them along this fence line. Now this tree is gonna come down because it's actually in our alleyway. And then that tree down there, same thing. It's in the alleyway there. Just an invasive tree that just kept growing and nobody did anything, so it's not that big of a deal. But we're gonna get these planted along this fence line, inside of it, so we still have the full access of the alley. And the plan is to plant them every 10 to 12 feet. So we're just gonna approximate. We're not gonna be super picky, but it's every 10 to 12 feet for all of these. because they can grow quite large. So we might do in a couple of areas, we might do a little bit more. Like here is our blackberries. And if they don't die this year, our raspberries are going to be planted here as well. So we might do a larger gap here. But we might not, just because a tree might need to come down at some other point. So we're going to get started on this. We have the American plum now all planted, and it actually stretches all the way along what our orchard is going to be, because we're going to fence in the orchard, and this will become like our duck meadow area. And now what we're doing is we're doing the raspberries. So Taylor is now getting the holes dug. They don't need to be too deep, Taylor.
Okay.
She's now getting the holes dug. We have 4 raspberry plants. They're heritage raspberries that we're going to get dug. Raspberries are now done. So next up, and the last thing on our list for today, are the grapes. So Taylor is planting where one died last year, and then it's basically going to be a straight line here, because they're going to go along our fence line that's going to go separating the rest of our pastures from the orchard. So it'll be fine. So we're going to plant in a straight line there. Hopefully no one runs over it, because people don't pay attention out here, but it's fine. It's fine. So yeah, we're gonna get started on planting that. I also had to go up and get a hat, but we are now ready to start getting potatoes planted. So in this front section here, we're going to do russet potatoes. And then we have, I think it's 5-pound bags of russet potatoes that we also cut into smaller with 2 or 3 eyes on each one. Then behind it, and we did this with all the potatoes, and then behind it we're going to have Adirondack blue, and they're a super bright purple potato. They're beautiful. And then behind that, we're going to do the Yukon Golds. That way the russets and the Yukon Golds are far enough apart that we can actually tell the difference. So what we're going to do is, in each hole that we dig for each potato, we're also going to drop some alfalfa pellets into it to give them an extra boost of nitrogen. And then we'll put the potato in, cover them, and then once everything is planted, we'll get the mulch from back there and then cover it with just a layer of mulch to help suppress the weeds. So I guess let's get going.
And we got the rabbit.
Need some help?
No, it just crushed me.
You're probably getting tired.
No, I tried to hold it in a way. What are these for? Do they just help nutrition?
Yes, they just help with feeding the potatoes.
This is the best way.
So they grow bigger and more.
And this is the way. There. Done.
All right, in the side by side. The potatoes are now planted. We had to actually go a little bit into a second row. Now, the plan is for the corn to actually be here. And the sun goes actually right up here, so it shouldn't be much of a problem. Now, with that being said, by the time the corn is going to be too tall and going to be shading out the potatoes should be at the point where they will need to come out of the ground anyways. So that is the reason I decided we're just going to plant them right here in these first rows, because by the time the corn will be too tall, potatoes will have to be dug out anyways. So it's kind of a perfect timing. Now, before we get to work with the more on the goats, I have 2 peach trees that I need to get planted out in our orchard space that you saw is clear almost completely last week. So in the video it would have been a little bit ago, but we're gonna go out. I'm gonna find a place to plant these 2 peach trees and we'll get them in the ground so that they're ready to go. And I have tulip poplars soaking right now, so I'll come out in a little bit and I'll plant those. They're kind of soaking in one of the tubs of water right out here, and we'll get those planted throughout the different pastures. We're planting them in the pastures just so that way by the time we get animals out there, they'll be big enough that they can survive it, but also it'll provide natural shade for the animals, because the animals prefer natural shade over like a shelter, only because it actually feels cooler in the natural shade than it does inside of a shelter. So that is why we're going to do that. But right now we're going to take the side by side with the peach trees out there and get these peach trees planted and ready to go. Come on, boys. Back inside. We now have the 2 peach trees planted. We have an Alberta peach, and then over here is the red skin peach. So we are good on peaches now. Technically peaches, you don't need 2 of them to pollinate. Just 1 is good enough because they have both male and female. But yeah, so we have 2 peach trees along with all of the American plums, the apple trees, and I'm hoping the 2 fig trees survived. So we'll check on those in a little bit. We now have these 15 tulip poplars to plant, and I am considering putting them out here kind of along this front fence line as a border, but also for shade. Not too close. I gotta look up really quick before I continue to see how big they grow, to see how far apart to plant them. So I'm gonna do that really quick, but then I am going to get them planted. We've been soaking them for a good, I want to say almost 2 hours, so their roots have had a chance to kind of absorb. So we're gonna do that, and yeah, we'll see how far we get with those. So I looked it up. These get rather large, so we are going to plant them about, they recommend 30 to 40 feet. We're going to plant them a little closer than that, just due to the fact that more than likely several of these are going to die. But also I'm going to try to avoid, we have power lines right there. So I also want to make sure that we're far enough away from those. So I came in just a little bit. We're going to start here and probably just plant all 15 of these along this entire fence line. And these are supposed to grow fairly rapidly, so we're gonna see. Hopefully I will try to come out here one of these days and also get some mulch around them to give them a better chance, but we shall see. All right, so I don't know if my camera got that, but I got all 15 tulip poplars. There's about 2 rows right here that we have planted. Now I estimate probably about 50% of those are gonna die, but we're gonna do our best to keep them alive. I can't do it right now, but I am going to come out here with some water to water all of these. Plus, I did find a few of the trees we planted last year, and it looks like they're somewhat surviving. So we are going to try to keep those and get those watered as well. So yeah, that is at least good news. So we're gonna see what we can save and what we can't. Same with the fruit trees. It's about, we're just gonna do our best to try to save what we can. But the tulip poplars are planted, so we don't have to worry about those anymore, even on the verge of dying. So yeah, now I just have to come out here and water them when I get the chance. After getting all those trees planted, I need to take another break. Plus it was dinner. So now we are going to get started on getting these onions planted finally. I just need my work gloves, but we are going to get these onions planted, and if I can get the brassicas planted, we'll get the brassicas planted too. So we shall see. It all depends on what we get done. So we'll just see. The onions are now all planted. We have 3 varieties. So at this front section here, we have Walla Walla onions, which are a white onion. In the next section, we have Ruby Red, which understandably it's a red onion. And then behind that, we have Pompeii. Pompeii is a yellow onion variety. So these are all long day onions just because of where we live. So these should work for where we live because I did my research. But hopefully they don't die this year. Crossing my fingers. I do have a small section at the back that doesn't have anything growing behind the Pompeii onions. So I'm actually going to find something, maybe one of the herbs. We'll plant some of that there. Or there's actually an herb, I want to say it's lemon balm on the outside. So I might move that into this bed so it's actually in a bed. We have the brassicas. Now I'm not going to be able to work on those tonight just because it is getting dark out and I have my chores to take care of. But back here where we've been planting potatoes for the last few years, I just need to weed this bed still. And I have soil down. We're going to put a layer of that in just to kind of help mix it in. And we're going to get the brassicas planted there. It's going to extend a huge length. And so we'll probably work on that tomorrow or the next day as I have time between my work day. So that's kind of the plan. As you can hear, the ghosts are screaming at me because they are in desperate want of food. It is not their feeding time yet, but they are in desperate want of it. So I need to go take care of my animals.